Hello friends, welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Luis Vargas and I'm a third year pre-medical student in New York City, and my passion is to help others and myself through the use of knowledge and science. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh no, another 21st century diet fad that will be out of style in a few weeks. But this is not the case, guys. The ketogenic diet was developed over 100 years for children who had epileptic seizures. Now, is this diet for everyone? Well, it depends on who you are. You should be aware of your body's liver and kidney function. In order to begin this conversation about the ketogenic diet, we must first look at how it is composed. The ketogenic diet will have a combination of high fats, low carbohydrates, and a sufficient amount of proteins. The combination of high fats and low carbohydrates in the ketogenic diet will allow our bodies to shift from being primarily driven by glucose to be primarily driven by ketone bodies. This is why it is called the ketogenic diet. Keto! Proper nutrition is crucial not only to lose weight but also to maintain it and to stay healthy. Now I will talk about the three major types of micronutrients that we find in the foods that we eat. This includes proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. If we look at the standard American diet, it is composed of approximately 15% proteins, 35% fats, and 50% carbs. Whereas the ketogenic diet is composed of 60 to 70% fats, 20 to 30% proteins, and less than 10% carbs. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh no, this is 5 times less carbs than in the standard American diet. Essentially, our bodies have two mechanisms that allow us to deal with low levels of carbohydrates. First, our body will shift away from using carbohydrates as its main fuel source and will begin to burn fat for energy. It does this to deal with the low amount of carbs that are found inside of our bodies, and it will enter a state called ketosis. Ketosis happens when our bodies do not have enough carbohydrates to burn for energy. Instead, our bodies will begin to burn down the fats that are already found inside of our bodies into something called ketones, and it will use this for energy. Essentially, a ketone is an alternative fuel source, and the way that our body is able to get ketones is by reducing the amount of carbohydrates that we eat, or by reducing the frequency of times that we eat by following an eating style such as intermittent fasting. I will leave a link down below for my video of intermittent fasting if you are not familiar with the term. However, in order for our bodies to get into ketosis, it will take a couple of days depending on who you are, and some people might actually have symptoms such as nausea, brain fog, and irritability. This is known as the keto flu. Most of our body's tissues can run on ketones, but others may only run on glucose. This is where the second mechanism comes in. There is something called gluconeogenesis. It's a metabolic pathway where our bodies will begin to synthesize glucose from other sources such as fats, proteins, and ketones. What this tells us is that we do not actually need to consume carbohydrates in order to get glucose. However, it does take quite some time for our body to turn fat into ketones and use that for energy. Depending on who you are, it takes approximately 3 to 5 days. However, if you are able to combine the ketogenic diet with intermittent fasting, your body can reach that point of breaking down fats into ketones a lot faster. So why is the ketogenic diet good for weight loss? Well, as previously mentioned, our bodies will begin to break down fat and use that as its main source of energy. And this allows our bodies to burn up a lot of stored fat. Furthermore, because fats make us feel full, when we consume a high fat meal, our hunger tends to go away. Without being hungry all the time, this allows us to limit the amount of calories that we eat throughout the day. However, following the ketogenic diet for the long run is quite difficult. It requires you to be very vigilant and in control of everything that you're putting inside of your body. Let's say you get an A on an exam and you go out with your friends to celebrate. You guys go get some rice and beans because you're Cuban. Guess what? You can't have any rice and beans because you're on the ketogenic diet. This is why I wouldn't recommend the ketogenic diet on the long run, because it's insane. Like, you can have some frozen yogurt, you can have ice cream, pizza, bananas, beans. Yeah, there's carbs in all of those foods. I love beans. I'm Cuban, okay? However, there are some true benefits to the ketogenic diet. Let's say you have type 2 diabetes, which essentially means that you have insulin resistance problems. Thus, you will have high levels of glucose or sugar in the blood. By following the ketogenic diet, there will be a decrease in the levels of insulin. A lot of people have high levels of insulin. If you want to know what your levels of insulin are, make sure to tell your doctor that you want a HOMO-IR test, which is the test that measures the levels of insulin found in your blood. Why is having too much insulin a problem? Well, because too much insulin causes insulin resistance, and insulin resistance is right behind pre-diabetes, which essentially leads to diabetes. So if you follow the ketogenic diet, you will lower the amount of insulin found in your blood. So let's talk about how the ketogenic diet began. A doctor is able to prescribe the ketogenic diet to children who have refractory epileptic seizures. Refractory just means that they're uncontrolled. Science has shown us that when these children get into a deep state of ketosis, there's a decrease in the rate of their seizures. There's also some promise in the field of oncology with the ketogenic diet. This is due to the fact that tumor cells are only used to running on glucose and they are not able to strive on ketones. However, there is still a lot of research done on this topic because it is still not well understood, but there are a lot of promises here. What are my views on the ketogenic diet? Well, I think it's a great diet to follow if you have type 2 diabetes. This will allow your body to have lower levels of insulin and can help you in the long run. I also think it's great if you're doing it the healthy way, which essentially means that you add higher quality ingredients into your diet, such as healthy fats, vegetables, and nutrient-dense meals. However, for most healthy young people, I wouldn't recommend the ketogenic diet for the long run. It's great for short-term weight loss, so if you are a model and you have to lose a couple pounds before your photo shoot, it's a great diet to follow that will allow your body to lose a lot of water weight. Or if you're getting ready for certain events, it's great for short-term weight loss. The research is just not there yet, so we don't really know what types of adverse effects the ketogenic diet can have on our long-term health. I will not recommend this diet for the long run. Thank you everyone for watching. Those are my views on the ketogenic diet. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you want to know how to use knowledge and science to your advantage. Also, leave a comment down below and let me know what types of diet you are following. I would love to learn what types of food you guys are eating. That's everything I have to say. Peace.